Welcome to the Activated Story Theater's 184th podcast.
This episode we bring you Kaguya Hime, a story from Japan.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Kimberly.
And together we are the Activated Actors.
We are coming to you from our production studio in Reno, Nevada. This is where we come to put a new show together, and that's what we do the entire month of May.
Except this time, not the entire month, because we're going to LA at the end of the month.
We have got some upcoming shows that are going to be at the Los Angeles County Libraries, and we're going to be telling you about those in just a minute. But first of all, I want to introduce a very special guest who is here visiting us from Japan, and her name is Yukari. Would you say hi, Yukari?
Hello, everybody. I'm from Japan. I'm very happy to meet you again.
And we are very happy to have Yukari here with us. She has been helping us get the show ready and working on it. Yes, and she's in our production. Isn't this a nice production studio?
Have fun. Great.
I'm glad.
Place. I like.
Our production studio is a garage. That's where we are working. We are working in my parents' garage, and we work all day long getting the show ready for you.
So she came for a visit, we thought, vacation, and she insisted on helping us work.
That's right. Have fun.
I'm glad you're having fun. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Now, we went to Japan to visit Yukari.
And her family.
And her family in 2006. And we did a podcast about that way back then.
Right. So if you want to look in the archives, you can listen to that story and about our trip to Japan. And that's going to be, back in the archives.
Back a long time ago.
A few years ago. Yes, but we've been podcasting since 2006, and this is 2018.
Already,
yes. So, like I said, we do have a bunch of shows coming up in Los Angeles County for the libraries. We have 17 shows coming up at the Los Angeles County Libraries, and we would really like to invite you to those shows. These were booked very last minute, so we didn't get a chance to tell you about it in the last podcast. So I'm going to tell you real quickly, we are going to be, and then we'll start the story for you, but we are going to be at the Hacienda Heights Library on May 24th, and the Walnut Library, and the Rowland Heights Library. Those are all shows on the May 24th. Hacienda Library is at 10 a.m., the Walnut Library is at 3 o'clock, and the Rowland Heights Library is at 7.
On May 25th, we will be at the East Rancho Dominguez Library at 9:30 a.m., Compton Library at 12 p.m., and the A.C. Bilbrew Library 4:30 p.m.
And then on the 26th of May, we'll be at the Wiseburn Library at 9:30 a.m., putting on a show, and at the Hawthorne Library at 1 o'clock, and the Lawndale Library at 4:30.
Then on May 29th, the Little Rock Library at 11 a.m., Lancaster Library at 4 p.m.,
and on the 30th, you can catch us at the Sunkist Library at 10:30 a.m., the Baldwin Park Library at 3 o'clock, and the La Puente Library at 6:30 p.m.
And winding it up on May 31st, 10 a.m., we're at the El Camino Library, 1 p.m., the Montebello Library, and 5:30 p.m., the City Terrace Library.
And then we're going to be on our way to Arkansas. So hope you can see us in Los Angeles if you're there. We'll tell you about some of the Arkansas shows coming up after the podcast. But right now we've got a story to get to. And then we're going to talk a little bit to Yukari about Japan. And maybe she can teach us some Japanese.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So.
And now we bring you Kaguya Hime from Japan.
Long ago in Japan, there was a poor bamboo cutter who lived with his wife at the edge of a forest, which is a pretty good place for a bamboo cutter to live. One day, he was cutting bamboo when...
Well, what have we here? A really huge bamboo stalk, and it's glowing inside?
So he carefully cut it open and...
What's this? It looks like a tiny baby.
Gaga.
Yep, sounds like my guess was right, all right, but wow, I just delivered a baby by C-section.
So he took the baby home to his wife.
Yoo-hoo, I'm home, dear, and you won't believe what I brought.
Oh, don't tell me. You finally brought me a new umbrella. Oh, you shouldn't have.
Good, because I didn't. I haven't been shopping, I've been chopping. And I didn't bring an umbrella. I brought a little baby girl.
You'd find those at work?
I did this time inside a bamboo stalk. Can you believe it?
Oh, she's so adorable. Do you suppose we can keep her?
I should think so. I certainly don't intend to put her back into a bamboo stalk.
So they did keep her, and they named her Kaguya Hime, meaning shining princess. They didn't really think she was a princess, but when you find a baby girl inside a bamboo stalk, you can give her a fancy name if you want to. And in the days to come, whenever the bamboo cutter went out and cut down a stalk of bamboo, he would find a gold coin inside.
Wow, finally all my hard work is paying off. Just not the way I expected.
And Kaguya Hime grew really fast. Young lady, why aren't you wearing your shoes? It's chilly outside. My shoes are too small, Mama. Too small? Well, we just bought them yesterday.
If she grows any faster, we'll have to get a new door to make her growth marks on.
In no time at all, she was fully grown, and she was very beautiful and charming. So beautiful and charming that word spread throughout the country about how beautiful and charming she was, and many young men came to be her suitors.
Oh, beautiful and charming Kaguya Hime! I have come to ask for your hand in marriage, and the rest of you as well. Will you be my wife?
Well, sure.
Really?
Yes, if you can prove your worthiness.
That seems like a logical requirement. What shall I do to prove my unworthiness? My worthiness.
By bringing me the begging bowl that once belonged to the Buddha.
Oh, certainly. I should be able to do that.
And a few days later, the suitor returned with a bowl.
Here you are, oh beautiful and charming Kaguya Hime. The bowl you asked for.
This was used as a begging bowl?
It was indeed.
And it belonged to the Buddha himself?
It did indeed.
Then why can I still see the price on the bottom?
Oops. You can't blame a guy for trying.
And more young men would come to be her suitors.
Greetings, Kaguya Hime. I know that you will want to be my wife because, let's face it, who wouldn't? What date shall we set for the wedding?
How about the day after you bring me back a horn from a dragon?
Is that all? No problem. I can bring you a horn from a dragon 7 times a day. Just give me a few days to bring the first one.
And a few days later, the suitor returned.
Here you are, as requested, 1 horn.
Then why does it look exactly like a goat's horn?
Okay, I'll just take my proposal to someone who appreciates my talents a little more and is not so observant.
And still more young men came to be suitors.
Oh, Kaguya Hime, I am here because I would like, that is, I was wondering, well, what I mean to say is, would you sort of marry me?
I sort of will, if you will bring me a purple flower from the mythical island of Hora.
Yes, I can do that, sort of, I think.
And when the young man came back, well, he didn't come back because he got lost looking for the mythical island of Hora. And he may still be looking because he never asked for directions. Do you suppose our daughter will ever find a suitor to suit her?
It doesn't seem so. She keeps finding ways to make them get lost.
In fact, Kaguya Hime did not want to get married. She was quite happy staying there with the bamboo cutter and his wife for a long time. And then she began to grow sad. At night, she would look glumly at the moon.
My child, you seem to be not yourself lately. Is something troubling you?
Oh, Papa, The time of the next full moon is almost here.
I didn't know you were into astrology.
It's just that at the next full moon, I must return to the moon.
What do you mean, return?
The moon is my home. That's where I came from.
Really? So that's why you love cheese so much.
I must go back. I do not belong here.
And now, we welcome aliens here.
My father is the emperor of the moon. He sent me down here to learn the ways of the earth. Sort of like finishing school, I guess. Now, I must return to my home in the sky. Tomorrow is the full moon, and my father will send you his horsemen to pick me up and carry me back. I will miss you too.
We will miss you, too.
But her father was not so willing to let her go. When he told his wife about it,
We must not let her go back to the moon. She is our daughter now.
but what on earth can we do?
We can have soldiers stationed all around the house, and they can chase away the moon horsemen when they come down.
Well, I have to say one thing. Nobody in the world has ever said that sentence before. But aren't you forgetting something? We don't have soldiers.
No, but we have a lot of gold coins now, so I should be able to hire some.
Good point. And that's what they did. They had dozens of soldiers stationed all around the house. Did I hear right? We're supposed to be guarding the house against horsemen from the moon?
Hey, it's the living.
But when the full moon came out, the bamboo cutter and his wife fell asleep. And when the soldiers saw the horsemen from the moon, they were terrified and ran away.
Let me out of here.
We can't tell anyone about this. They'll think we're nuts and we'll get discharged. So the horsemen from the moon quietly took Kaguya Hime away. The woodcutter and his wife were very sad. And after that, at every full moon, they would climb to the top of a nearby mountain and send a letter to her by burning it so the smoke would rise up to the moon. The mountain became known as Fujiyama, meaning mountain of wealth. And every now and then, when people see smoke rise from Fujiyama, or Mount Fuji, some say it is the bamboo cutter and his wife sending a letter to Kaguya Hime. I just hope we put enough postage on it. It's a long way to the moon.
And that's the story of Kaguya Hime from Japan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Yukari.
We hope
Thank
you
very
enjoyed that.
much. I enjoyed it. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Have fun.
So you've been to Mount Fuji?
yeah.
Would you like to tell our listeners about Mount Fuji?
Mount Fuji is the biggest mountain in Japan
It's the biggest
Yeah.
one.
and World Heritage.
World Heritage,
Yeah.
right.
So recently, many people come to climb and very, very, very crowded.
Very crowded. It's
Yeah.
so too many people
Too many
are coming
people.
to it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen smoke come from it?
Yeah.
You
Yeah?
have? To
Is
the
that
moon.
the bamboo cutter
Yes.
sending a letter?
It's actually a volcano.
Yes, it's actually a volcano, yeah.
And we'd like to thank some podcast listeners for suggesting this story. Some podcast listeners in Japan. Thank you to Jennifer and her kids, Sakura and George. If somebody came to visit Japan, what would you recommend? What would you suggest that they see? The one thing they see. They just had 1 day or 2
One
days in
day.
Japan.
Okay, Tokyo Disneyland.
Tokyo Disneyland.
Yeah.
That is the best.
Yeah.
I believe it. We went there.
Yeah, but I like Edo Wonderland.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, Edo.
I
Yes.
think
Edo Mura. It's Edo
Edo.
period village.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a living history center, and we
Yes.
really loved it.
Yeah, I think it's more. Yeah, it's like walking back in history.
Yeah,
Yes.
welcome back.
Old
History.
style
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
There's entertainers there,
Yeah.
jugglers, and all kinds of theater.
Yes.
That was fun for
You-
me.
You're
Yeah.
very interesting
Yeah.
places for
Yeah.
But we loved every place
I
that we
did,
went to
and
in
there's
Japan.
a lot. The temples are neat.
We spent 2 weeks in Japan, and we loved it. We saw a lot of things, and it was wonderful.
Good memories. Good memories.
And the people in Japan are great.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Yes, for
Thank
sure.
you.
We are looking
we are
for.
happy.
Do we have any Japanese words? How do you say? Let's see.
Okay, I'll tell you Japanese word. Goodbye
Goodbye.
means sayonara.
Sayonara.
See you. We
Okay.
say matane.
Matane. Okay.
Matane.
So that's if you expect to see someone again, you say matane.
Matane.
Yes.
Matane.
Right.
Yes.
See you again.
Yeah.
See you again. And sayonara is goodbye. Very good.
Sayonara is
And-
farewell.
Oh, I was going to tell, before we go, we've got some shows coming up in June. After our 17 shows in Los Angeles County, the next place you'll be able to see and this is our brand new show that we're opening up. This is Stories, Hat Seller and the Monkey. This is Tops and Bottoms.
Orpheus and the boy who wanted to drum.
The Boy Who Wanted to Drum. So new stories this time around. And after Los Angeles, you'll be able to see us in Arkansas at the Fayetteville Library on June 5th at 10:30 a.m. and at the Rogers Library on the 6th at 10 a.m.
And then Mountain Home Library on the 16th at 10:30 a.m. On the 19th, at the BB Library, the Golf Library in BB at 10 a.m. and at 2 p.m. at the Walnut Ridge Library.
On the 19th. And then on the 20th, you'll find us in Jonesboro, Arkansas at 2 locations. You can catch us at the Parker Park Community Center at 10 a.m. or at 2 o'clock, we'll be at the mall at Turtle Creek.
And 27th at the Augusta Library at 10:30 a.m.
And we'll be telling you about more shows coming up in the next podcast. We've got a busy summer. We hope to see you at one of the libraries. We appreciate your emails and your suggestions. Keep them coming. And we'll catch you next time.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Activated Story Theater is committed to bringing fun, educational shows to schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use physical comedy, American Sign Language, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring multicultural folktales to life. For booking information, check out our website, activatedstorytheater.com, where you can also find out when the activated actors will be performing near you. Read a story or order one of our audio CDs. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or listen on Stitcher. We look forward to your comments and folktale suggestions. Stay activated. Until next time.